So here we've got the Aberdeen Bucks against the Plymouth Argyle Browns. So we've got Stevie against Arthur. So we'll start off with the Aberdeen Bucks. We've got Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Dallas Goddard, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Aubrey, Luke On and Ernest Jones. And then on the Plymouth, you've got C.J. Stroud, Devon Achane, Rashad White, Puka Nacua, Jaden Reed, A.D. Mitchell, Sam Laporta, Malachi Corley, Cole Kmet, Dustin Hopkins, Max Crosby, and Miles Garrett. So he's gone for a bit of a homer for a couple of years because obviously he's a Browns fan, so he's gone for Hopkins and Garrett. Thought he picked a third one too, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I see no
There we go.
problem with either of these starting lineups again. As I say, you've got Adams and Evans are two every year they're 1,000 yard receivers. I don't see any reason why they won't go for 1,000 yards again this year, both of them.
He just didn't agree the
My
second and
worry
third round.
My worry for both is their touchdown production and how many touchdowns are the Raiders going to be scoring, how many touchdowns are the Buccaneers going to be scoring, and is it going to be those two? Because it wasn't kind of last year. Do you know what I mean? And that's what puts me off Adams and Evans, I have to say. It's why I'm not getting them this year, because they are going quite early still. And if they were going in the fifth or sixth round, I would be delighted to pick up either. But I just, the teams that they're playing in this year, I'm just not comfortable with. And on the other side, there is Puka for me again. I think he'll be fine. He will do absolutely fine, but he's not going to be a top 10 wide receiver, in my opinion. Therefore, he has been drafted right at his ceiling. I love A-Chain, but I worry about his injuries. So yeah, and then when you've got rookies in your starting lineup that and it's not one of the top rookies that is going to be fine. And you've got Adona Mitchell in your starting lineup. That
And
worries me a little
Corley.
bit that the bench isn't very good.
Well,
You've got Corley in your starting lineup. That worries me that the bench is very bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arthur had three quarterbacks. He's got Drake May and Kyler Murray.
Well, there
Wow.
you
He's
go. And
got
who's his starting quarter?
C.J.
Stroud.
Stroud, Kyler Murray, and Drake May.
I
Oh, did
mean,
Chubb will come in? Chubb, there's his other Cleveland. I knew you had another one. Nick Chubb.
yeah, Chubb will come in at some point. But I just, when you Kyler Murray and
C.J.
Uh,
Stroud.
GJ Stroud is that's just lunacy for me. That's just going to make you look silly week in, week out. One of them is. I like the rest of the bench. I mean, Kraft again. Everyone's going Musgrave, and rightly so. He probably will be the number one. But Kraft will get his time. He'll get his touches, and he'll get his points.
Problem is picking the
I
right
like
week.
I like the bench on the left. I've got to say. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
Conklin. I'm not in on, but I get what you're saying, Everett, in the sense that if Rodgers can be kind of even 80% Green Bay Packer Rodgers, Conklin could very well have a great year.
Because who was that? Joe Flacco they had his rookie year?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you have Aaron Rodgers, who's, to me, a way better quarterback. I mean, because last year he had Zach Wilson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Last year you had no chance. I mean, you just need to look at Wilson's production last year to know that, if Wilson's not doing it, then none of them are.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I really do like the bench on the left-hand side here because you've got Palmer, who could be the number one for the Chargers, and if he's not, he'll still be getting plenty of the ball. He has shown that he has a good partnership with
Herbert.
Herbert. They've done it in the past, so I don't see why he can't be the kind of main target for him with what else is there. Brian Robinson, I think, is in for a decent year, and Rico Dowdle's in for a good year in Dallas because there's no one, they're going to get their touches. Robinson's different; he's a great running back. Dowdle not so much, but his situation means he's going to get the touches. And Vidal, well, I love Vidal in the
That's a
sense
good pickup for Vidal.
I don't know. It's not that I love him as a running back. I think he's a wonderful, brilliant running back. I think he's landed in an absolutely wonderful position where he has two running backs in front of him who haven't finished who haven't played a full season in their careers. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, he got Vidal in the 1912 pick, and then he picked up Tyler Conklin in 2001. It's a
Oh
nice finish
wow,
to the
that's
draft.
good.
Like,
Yeah, those are good spots to
we've
get him.
got DeAndre Hopkins in the 16th round.
I don't mind Gino being on the
No,
bench there
thought
as
as
well,
well.
because he'll have his games as well. And but I mean, it's Josh Allen that's in the first team, but so it's kind of a waste of a spot. But if you're wanting a good quarterback, I guess to cover the bye week, then you have to look at picking one up, because if you're going to agency for bye week, then you're going to have to settle for the fact that you're going to have a Bryce Young, you know, quarterbacking you that week. But I mean, that might still garner you 20 points, which is fine.
Or it might get you 5 points. But yeah,
It's just how much you want it. So yeah, again, I'm not absolutely
it's
I'm not hating any of these teams, but I'm not totally in love with any of them, either of them either. I don't like the
got
three
two
quarterback
defensive
thing.
ends for two defensive ends for Arthur, but I'd imagine they two will score points. So,
I mean,
or
it's the two
Montez
best
Sweat as
defensive
well. So,
ends.
and Montez Sweat's
So
no spring chicken either, so he's got three of the best ones. Yeah. Did he even tell you what they got last year? I can't find on.
yeah,
Here we
you can
go.
go to history, Johnny.
It's not quite the same in the computer than it is on your phone, but yeah, he didn't do
Oh, now
great
there
in the
is. I've
middle of it. I
seen
think
it.
he was a bit injured, so usually get you about 15, 17 points. And then
He's a
Garrett's
tackle
probably
machine,
more.
even bigger tackle
Garrett's
machine.
something else. Like 28, 32, most 11, 12, 6.
That's too sporadic. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just the name. We know he's a great
That's the
defender,
problem.
but he's not. He's not
The
a
linebackers,
fantasy.
like, go to a look on 24, 20, 26, 31, 39, 24, 27, 21, 25, 20, 23. So his worst weeks are 12, whereas Garrett's worst weeks are 5. So yeah, it's definitely a linebacker scoring.
Well, the linebackers get most of the tackles. That's the thing. It's who gets
Yeah.
all the tackles, and the defensive ends. See, especially when it's a passing play, the defensive ends are making the space for the linebackers to get through and get there to the quarterback. So that's why they're kind of not the massive scorers or anything, because they tend to be making away. But then when they're running the ball, then defensive ends are the first ones to touch the running backs. So if they bring them down, then they'll get the tackle.
And they get the tackle for a loss as well if they get hit in the quarterback. Yeah, it's you don't. I think the problem is with the Browns is you don't really. It's hard because their defense is so good,
I mean, I'm still
and
not
you
there in
can't run. You
IDP yet.
can't.
I'm not going to lie. I've still not worked out quite exactly where I want, kind of the best way to go about drafting your IDPs. I really don't, because there's a lot of names that I don't even recognise that are scoring 20 points a week. And then there's big names that you do recognise that aren't.
I know it's a bit
Anyway,
of
next
luck.
one. So here we
So
go.
we've got
Kirkwall
the
Chargers.
Kirkwall Chargers against the Yorkshire Los Muertos. The Kirkwall Chargers, obviously, he lives in Kirkwall, as you can tell. So you've got Dak Prescott, Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Mark Andrews, Cooper Cup, Rasheed Rice, Jake Elliott, Nick Bolton, and Luke Wilson. And then Yorkshire Los Muertos, that's Johnny. He's got James Herbert, Travis Etienne, James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Brock Bowers, T. Higgins, Brooks as a starter, but obviously he's not going to be starting.
Yeah,
No
that'll get
kicker,
changed out. So,
Al Shahir and Alec Anzalone.
so the
I
big
don't think you've really
question is
looked at his
who's
teams.
They
So,
got some. They got some good receivers on both sides here.
the big
yeah.
question for me is who's on the bench for Yorkshire. But I do love both sets of receivers
So the bench have got Trevor
because
Lawrence,
they've got to
Braylon Allen,
replace
Antonio
obviously.
Gibson, Kenji Miller, Jalen Polk, Lad McConkey, Johan Dotson, Hunter Henry, and Eric Kendricks
I
for
mean, there are a
Yorkshire.
couple of players there that can be plugged in. You can plug in Polk. Would you want to be plugging in Polk week one? I'm not quite convinced, but Lad McConaughey, you're happy to plug in week 1. Gibson, you could
Or
plug in
even
week one
Antonio
and get what
Gibson,
you get. But Gibson and Polk scares me,
Dotson.
just having two, in fact, and Henry. So you've got three offensive pieces from probably the worst offense in the league.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that's wonderful.
And on the other side, you've got
And
Hill, Fields, Lloyd, Edwards, Moss, Cook, Shahid, James.
yeah, I mean the Moss, Cooks, and Shahid love that. But I mean, Gus as well. If Edwards stays fit, then he's going to be getting a lot of touches and he'll score a lot of points because they'll run the ball a lot. Harbaugh loves to run the ball.
Oh hell, of
So
course
yeah,
they will, especially goal line.
I don't like Hill. I'll Taysom Hill. I'm just not a fan. He's getting older as well, so these wee trick plays that they keep throwing up for him, defenses are starting to work them out now, and he's getting older. He's getting slower. Not for me. I like Fields being on the bench though, because obviously I think that Fields could be the man the second half of the season. He's a man that you could be bringing in for playoffs once he gets in the team. And I do like both receivers in the starting lineups. Take me back up to the running backs again, Johnny, just to see. I mean, obviously Rice, I don't like this year, but I love him as a receiver, and I think he'll be a very good receiver. But Chase, Wilson, Waddle, Rice, and whoever that was, and Pollard and Stevenson, Etienne and Cooks are great. Yeah, these are two really good teams actually. Can't make my mind up on what one I prefer, but I think my winner's going to be take me up to the top again, Johnny. Sorry, let me see the quarterback. Prescott and Herbert. Yeah, I'm going with Kirkwall Chargers as my favourite so far.
Yeah, they do look pretty good. So go on to the Rotherham Raiders, and the Bucks Golder, so that'll be Gary. So Rotherham Raiders, you've got Joe Burrow, Kieran Williams, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Michael Pittman, Chris Godwin, Evan Ingram, Curtis Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Matt Gay, Tremaine Edwards, and Alex Singleton. Against Gary, you've got Caleb Williams, Bijan Robinson, Derek Henry, Marvin Harrison, Brandon Ayuk, Roman Ducey, Luke Musgrove, Kean Coleman, Ryan Thomas, a lot of rookies, Harrison Butker, Micah Parsons, and Josh Hines Allen.
Is Gary feeling all right? He seems to have drafted really well there.
It's a bit unusual. He's had plenty of practice.
Very unusual. Williams and Kamara, that's a real good running back starting. I mean, so is Bijan and Derek Henry, to be honest with you. I love both of these teams right down to if you could take out Ayuk in the right and take out Godwin in the left.
I knew you would say that.
That's superb starts. And that's two really good rookie wide receivers in there, and Coleman and Thomas. I've got no problem picking up the rookie wide receivers, the ones that are going to be playing and are going to be on the pitch, It's when you start breaking down to the kind of the McCaffreys and, these guys, you don't want too many of them in because you need, obviously, them to hit all, at least one of them to hit type thing. Let's see the benches on here, Johnny, because I've got no problem with either starting lineup. One player in each, but
so you've got Jared Goff, Loeb, Benson, Ford, Iosibas, who's technically the number 3 receiver at the moment, Hollywood Brown, K. Dotton, and CJ Mosley, and then Gary's got Brock Purdy, Bucky Irvin, Pearsall, McCaffrey, Sinnott, Bates. He's got another kicker. Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he autoed that one actually. And Kyle Hamilton.
So that's 1, 2, 3, run me in a quarterback. So 4 of Gary's bench spots are for kind of onesie type positions. I know that you've got 2 defenders, but onesie type position. I get him picking up Pearsall, though. That's a really good pickup with Ayuk in your team, because if Ayuk does go and they don't bring in another receiver, Pearsall's going to get a lot of the ball.
Yeah. Well, apparently Doug is not ready yet, but it should be ready.
I'm just no sure on Lobb and Benson. I get, if Ford is a good cover, though. Ford is very good cover, but Lobb and Benson, I'm not sure that they're going to get as much play as people are hoping. I do. I love both these starting lineups. Specifically, is it Rotherham?
Rotherham
Raiders. Yeah, I was on Kirkwall team,
they
but
were looking good until you got down to Godwin. So.
I like Godwin though. I like Godwin though. I think
I like Godwin. Just Craig doesn't like Godwin.
I know. I think the difference in those 2 star lineups is the quarterbacks. I think we'll see how Caleb Williams comes out. I'm not disliking him.
He's got Brock Purdy as well though, so you can always play Brock Purdy instead of Caleb Williams.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
we could
that's it,
start
and
off
he
with Brock,
probably
see how
will
he gets
start with
on.
Pub and see how Williams goes. Would probably be the best way to go about that.
Especially being a 49ers fan.
Mhm.
So we'll go on to the Edinburgh Thunderbirds and against the Laxdale Legends. So it'll be Stephen Campbell from the Isle of Skye, I think he is. The Edinburgh Thunderbirds, we've got Lamar Jackson, Isaiah Pacheco, Javonte Williams, Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, David Njoku, Jameson Williams, Youngwei Koo, Will Anderson, and Fred Warner. And
That's one I
Laxdale
love.
Legends start off Anthony Richardson, Joe Mixon, Montgomery, Amon St. Brown, AJ Brown, Amani Cooper, Trey McBride, Raheem Mostert, Chuba Hubbard, Justin Tucker, Raekwon Smith, and Patrick Queen.
One
So
on
I
the
can
left,
say
I
that
love.
right away. The team on the right is my favourite team so far. So
Yeah, I was about to say they're sneaky good. Even, I mean, I wait till we see the benches because I mean, Hubbard's going to start because Brooks is out.
he's got three running, but he's got three quarterbacks. That's on the bad side for Laxdale Legends.
Yeah, that's my problem with this one. And Jordan Love on your bench. Who's the starting quarterback on the left, Johnny? Again, sorry, before we go.
Jackson.
Jackson, right? Okay, so Love's a waste. Right, I mean,
Yeah.
you're taking him off another player, I guess, and Love is one that you might get a trade for. But I'm not being funny. I'm not trading anything for a quarterback unless it's rubbish. It's stuff that I don't want because I can pick one up in agency.
So you've got
And
J.K.
Dobbins,
Dobbins,
Chandler,
Ty
Thielen,
Chandler,
Williams,
Mayer.
and Maya. There you go.
That's what
There's
you're
Maya.
talking about. And Bayard and Winfield.
I mean, Winfield is a points machine. If you look on the points, he's an absolute points machine. He was like over 300 last year. So I see no problem, and he's one that can be plugged into that starting lineup any old time. So yeah, the one on the left here, if you take Thielen out of it, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Might be the favourite one I've seen so far. I include mine in that.
Cool. But yeah, I was liking get Laxdale Legends until I saw the extra two quarterbacks. Quentin
Yeah, it's
Johnson.
too close. And Quentin
Starting
Johnson, I
wise,
don't like, and a kicker. Is that another kicker on the bench as well for Laxdale? Did I see another kicker there? No, I didn't know. But it's got
no.
Quentin Johnson as well. So, yeah, the one on the left here, Edinburgh, whatever it is, by a country mile for me at the moment. In here,
Edinburgh
we got another
Thunderbirds.
one to look at in here, Johnny, because we're
We've
running
got
out of
two
time
here.
here by
So we've got
times.
we've got
Two
workshopped
more.
off rookies against the bottom Bears. So you've got Jalen Hurts, you hear Tamir Gibbs, Nadia Harris, Debo Samuel, Tank Dell, Dalton Kincaid, Calvin Ridley, Christian Watson, Jake Moody, Zaire Franklin, Ivan Pace. And then bottom Bears have got Matt Stabber, Chris McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Malik Neighbours, Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jake Ferguson, John J. Swift, Romeo Dubes, Evan McPherson, Devin Lloyd, and Quincy Williams.
See now this one on the team on the right here, this is how you do a second quarterback. You've got a rookie quarterback who's runs with the ball constant. He's a running quarterback, but you don't know he's coming into a bad team. You don't know what he's going to be like. So what do? You bring in a veteran to start and to play at the beginning and wait and see what happens with Daniel. So you bring in a Matt Stafford. I think that's such a good move. And see if there's another quarterback underneath Daniels, I'm going to be so disappointed.
No, Blake
Yes.
Corum, Leo Herbert, Charbonnet, Davis, Likely,
Lots of running back
Hutchison,
options, which
and
I like
Evans.
as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Is that the bottom Bears?
Yeah, so I love the bottom Bears here as well, and that's given me a headache with this. This is the fourth division as well, and there's
I
some
know.
people have been studying, I think, Johnny. Some
Then we've got the
people
last
have
one
been
in
studying.
this one. You've got the Bedford Brewskis against the Preston Hawks, or our boy Pez. So we'll start off
Yeah,
with the Bedford Brewskis. You've got this is the auto pick. Mahomes, I'm pretty sure
right.
it was Mike Flynn because he was ill when it started. So he never picked. So you've got Mahomes, Barkley, Jones, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, Kyle Pitts, Samir White, Jalen Warren, Dicker the Kicker, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, and then you've got Tua, Tagovailoa, Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Drake London, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Travis Kelce, Terry McLaurin, Austin Eckler, Tyler Bass, Bobby Arike, and Jordan Brooks.
I mean, we knew that we knew that Walker was going to be popping up in that team, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was a guarantee. I think he got him in the 5th round or something like that. Some daft like that.
So
Late with some of
I
them.
feel like I'm not a Tua fan at all this year. I, don't- I know he's got all the weapons in the world and he should do well, but it just worries me that he's not as good a quarterback as what Miami hoped he would be, you know. And I know that they're sticking with him, and I know that they're giving him a contract now. But we'll see if that
Wait, wait,
if that works out for him or not.
wait
But
till you
you
see,
can't
wait
find
till
a
you see his
goal.
backup quarterback.
And he's kind of one head knock away from really being career over, is he not?
Oh yeah, but you thought that 2 years ago when he came in and got knocked out again, it was a bit.
I mean, the Bradford Brewskis, I definitely like that. I mean, that starting lineup is really nice. And don't get me wrong, I like Pez's starting lineup. You know, it's. I mean, I don't like Diggs in it, but outside of that, it's very good. Addison is going to do fine, but you know, Jefferson's going to with the quarterback situation there and Jefferson there, it worries me for Addison and the fact he's going to be suspended maybe next year though, as you said, Everett.
But Pez got
Let's see the
Bryce
benches
Young
here.
at the 1907.
So there you go, three quarterbacks on the left, so that rules out, and that's such a shame because I liked that team right up until I seen that.
Yeah, Pez
Mayfield
got a
and
nice
Rodgers
little
and
bench
Clyde
going on over
Edwards-Helaire
here.
is just a bust.
Yeah, Pez's bench isn't bad
I do
actually.
like the bench on the right. I
Elliott,
like,
Singletary, Sutton,
Wright,
Sanders,
Elliott, Singletary, Sutton,
Sutton,
Sanders, Fryermuth, players that can be plugged in straight away, you know.
Levante David.
So yeah, neither of these teams. I thought the one on the left might at the beginning, but then I seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire and three quarterbacks, and one of them being Patrick Mahomes. So absolutely wasted two bench spots. So for me in this division, I am going with. Oh, it's the Bodom Bears or the Edinburgh Thunderbirds. I think I'll have to go with Edinburgh Thunderbirds just because it's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh Thunderbirds. Cool. Shall we do the other conference next week? Because it's getting late.
Yes, I think we should do the second conference. That's 2.5 hours we've been on now, Johnny. I think we've
Cool.
tired everybody out plenty enough. So
Who
shall we park it
are you
for the
going for,
second
Everett?
conference?
In this one, without being biased and taking Pez, my pick is the Aberdeen Bucks.
Left field, Everett. Love it.
Well, I'm going to go for the Laxdale Legends.
Yeah, it was a good team too.
But I
So was
do
Aberdeen
like Page.
Bucks.
It's only mainly because I picked 3 of his players when he was away on the festival weekend. So